Today, coming up on the Rude Boys, we're going to talk a smorgasbord of stuff, the memes, the whole Kamala Harris stuff.
Smorgasbord, are you thinking about all those food posts you keep putting up that just look so tasty? Oh, my gosh.
We're going to talk some about Kamala Harris and the argument that she's not black. And I'm going to tell you why I think people are saying she's not black.
All right.
You know what I mean? Along with some other stuff. Let's just get into it.
Problems with memes. Problems with memes. Here we go.
Yeah. Welcome to the Rude Boys Rant. This is the Dirty Immigrant.
This is Scotland.
Yes, I am. We at it again, a ting and ting. Hope you guys having a good time. They're staying safe from that virus, man. 170,000 people dead and climbing. And climbing. You know, I think that always gets me. It's like all these people, every time you go on there and you see these people saying, we're not a third world country. Well, the third world countries are doing better. Mm-hmm. With the virus stuff, because people are too busy going, it's a conspiracy, it's a conspiracy, it's a trap, it's a trap.
We're just in a really bad place.
I know.
We really, as a country, we are in a really bad place.
And it's not just political too, man, because like, I'm not going to say it, where I work, the backbiting is vicious.
Yeah.
Vicious, and I ain't gonna go into details, but it's just across the board. This place is not, because everybody's so bloody judgmental anymore. Mm-hmm. They can't just go, wait a minute, those people are happy, leave them alone. No, they're not doing it my way, so it's the wrong way. I don't care if they're happy or not. You know that kind of, I'm not talking about dating.
It's my right to say this.
You know, I tell you, but. Let's go for the memes, man. These memes, boy.
Because you've got this one that you told me a few days ago that this is what you wanted to kind of put out there to talk about to get it started. Because this is kind of a good one to, shall we say, get this conversation started.
Okay, so you have these people that's denying the proficiency of masks. And the thing about it is experts said it's not 100%, but it does help. Yeah. And before I even go into that, okay, let me read it for you.
Yeah, then we'll get to the
So this is for the mask wearers. And I even see Grenadians putting this stuff up.
Okay.
But anyway, it says you don't start wearing a mask because you studied available scientific and medical evidence and determined a mask was the best or even an effective way to prevent the spread of COVID. You started wearing a mask because a stranger on television told you to admit that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it goes on to say, so you wouldn't stop wearing a mask no matter how much evidence there is that the mask is useless. You'll only stop wearing a mask when a stranger on television tells you to.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct with a question mark, yeah.
No, that's not true. My counter thing to that is this. You are not wearing a mask because a freaking stranger tells you not to wear the mask.
Exactly, yeah.
And you are accusing us who are wearing masks of letting a stranger tell us to wear it. And as a matter of fact, there's countless studies that show that masks are effective. Not 100%, but effective enough not to spread it.
They never said it was the cure-all.
I know.
Because if it was, they would have just come right out from the beginning and said, look, just wear a mask. We don't need to shut down. Just wear your mask, and in a few months this thing will be gone.
Yeah.
They never said that putting these things on your face was going to be the cure-all, because if it was, then they wouldn't have been telling you, okay, use hand sanitizer, make sure to wipe things down, wash your hands, and all that sort of stuff.
It's in combination with a bunch of stuff.
Well, think about this, too, and I'm hoping this day doesn't come, because I don't want to be that person in public that gets into one of these stupid arguments. But when somebody wants to keep talking about how masks don't work, I'm like, okay, you know what? You go in for surgery sometime, I want you to inform every medical personnel that's going to be in there, don't wear a mask because I don't think they do anything.
Yeah.
Tell the doctors performing on you, the nurses, everybody else who's going to be in there, the anesthesiologists, everybody else, that when your body is open, don't anybody wear a mask because they're useless.
Yeah. They're useless,
But
and
really?
they're part of the conspiracy to control you all. Listen.
look. I will agree. They're obvious. Wearing a mask is obviously not going to completely stop it.
No.
Because I can wear a mask anywhere I want to. I can touch a surface, forget to wash my hand, and then later on back at my house, I could be eating some food and I catch it.
Yeah.
I understand that a mask is not going to go, put its hand out like a great big old Earl Campbell stiff arm and say, "You're not touching me." I understand that. I know that. Nobody on TV had to tell me that either. But again, when you look at, when you go to the doctor's office, when you know that surgery is being performed, when there's open wounds, something like that, they are wearing masks. Why? Because it's to help prevent, hey, the doctor, you hope that they're trying to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But they might have some germs, and it might not be good for them to, while they're talking, maybe a little bit of spit comes out of their mouth and drops right into you, right into your open heart or into whatever they've got open on you.
Yeah.
For me, in my case, when I went in for surgery, potentially exposed brain, when they were operating on my neck back there and in the bottom part of my skull. Yeah, I don't want somebody who might even have a cold.
Yeah.
End up spitting just a little bit of that right into the back of my head. Because I don't know what that's going to do.
Here's the thing, okay? Here's my little own.
But I do like, at least what you posted with this, when you reposted it, when you said, what's funny about this is someone told them not to wear a mask, exactly like what you just said.
Yeah.
They did not wake up and go, hell no, I'm not wearing one. They didn't do their research. They looked it up to see if they should. No, exactly. Someone told them not to. The people were saying, no, this is a conspiracy. That's bullcrap.
Yeah. And there's research. They did a research that broke down the materials as far as how effective they would be. Fleece is no good at all.
Okay.
And they go over cotton. Cotton is at the top of the list and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, okay? Where I work, one girl tested positive for it. The day before she went on quarantine, she had it. She was at work. I worked with her for 4 hours. I'm bagging groceries for her, okay? How come I didn't get it? Because she was wearing a mask. I was wearing a mask. Nobody else in the building got it.
It helped.
Because everybody else was wearing masks.
And again, you also wash your hands and do all that stuff.
You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person, I wear a glove at work now, but I also sanitize the glove too. I'm not taking any chances. I sanitize everything. I don't wash my hands at work as much as I want to because, you're working.
Somehow wearing a mask has become such a political fire point.
I know.
And it's amazing. Like it's a mask.
Yeah.
I know I've said this before, but they're not asking you to, when you leave your house, to go out in a hazmat suit. You don't have to get a total, nuclear scrub down.
Yeah.
When you go into a building, you don't have to wear some transponder on you, so that way the medical professionals know everywhere you've been.
Yeah.
In case you end up getting caught, in case you end up coming down with it. You're putting a piece of cloth across your face.
Yeah.
That's it.
Here's what's funny about that.
Is this the problem? Thirsty guys can't see what girls completely look like? Is that where this comes from?
Actually, the thirsty guys are wearing the masks.
Well, yeah, but some of them are, some of them aren't. But it's like, man, I can't really see what that girl looks like.
Oh, what was I about to say?
Oh, sorry,
totally skipped my mind there, but I'll come back to it. But I mean,
did it have something to do with masks being such a political fire point?
Nah. Yeah, well, it was piggybacking on that there, but I'll get back to it. It's just crazy how, and it's a conspiracy theory things that goes along with it. Okay, this woman came to the line, right? And she's like, we're going to have to wear these things for the rest of our lives. And I was like, no, you won't. It'll be over soon. Don't worry about it. She said, well, I said, you do know they wear masks back in the 1918 pandemic. She said, they did? I said, yeah, and
there's
they didn't make them
photos of it everywhere you can find them.
And the thing about it is, and they didn't have to wear them for the rest of the time, did they? I said, no, I hope you're right. Woman, look at history. How come the damn immigrant know your history and you don't?
I have had to explain this to you so many times. You expect way too much from us, okay? Look, and I am, please, folks, believe me, I am not blaming teachers in any way, shape, or form on this, because teachers are only told to teach, or only teach what they're told to teach. And especially if you're given tests, you really can't go teach other things that are not going to be on the test, because then you're missing teaching things that will be on the test, and then the kids fail. And
then you don't get no money.
Yeah. So as far as that kind of history, for me growing up, we spent so much time on the Revolutionary War. We basically ended up skipping right over the War of 1812. I mean, that was almost like, you spend about a month on the Revolutionary War, then you spend a week on the War of 1812. And then suddenly you're kind of firing right through history, and bam, here we are at the Civil War. Now you spend forever on the Civil War, and then suddenly, the school year's almost over, and we're only at like 1870. Oh, shoot. I never learned anything about any kind of flu pandemic in 1918, 1919. Never learned anything about that. We barely learned about the Great Depression. Well, in order. We learned a little bit about World War I, barely a little bit about the Great Depression, a little bit about World War II. Bang, year's over. Go have fun this summer. I mean, that was it. And I learned more about World War II from talking to my dad, who didn't fight in it, because he's interested in history, and so we would either watch these things on TV or he would just talk to me about it. I learned more about World War II that way than I ever did in any class. And we never even made it to the 1960s to learn about people like Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, whatever, the women's rights movements. God forbid, we barely touched on women finally getting the right to vote in the early part of the last century. I mean, barely. We didn't really learn too many names from that. It was kind of like, oh, this is when it happened. Moving on. So there's a whole lot that you don't learn growing up unless you go to college and you take specific classes that are aimed at that.
Yeah. And if you notice, they don't want poor people to go to college. They keep going, trade school. There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, and, I learned more about the U.S.'s expansion westward and what happened with a lot of the broken treaties and things with Native American tribes from actually taking a class in 7th grade that was specifically the history of the American West. Most everybody else was taking history of the Civil War, and I thought, man, we learned the Civil War every year for days.
Yeah.
There were 7 of us in that class, History of the American West, and I learned a whole lot in there, and then obviously from reading stuff on my own. But, I mean, there's a whole lot about our own history that we don't get taught until, like I said, if you go to college and you take classes specifically directed at those things. If you go to college and maybe you only have to take a couple of history classes and you don't choose any of those, well, guess what? You never learn them either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, quite honestly, like I didn't know really anything about the flu pandemic from back then until just recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew about it from back home.
Well, there you go. See, like I said,
this is a thought that I lost there. Have you noticed that the same people who are refusing to wear the masks is the same people that tell black people to comply?
I have one statement to go along with something like that. For people who keep thinking that black people need to get over slavery and just say, "Oh, that was hundreds of years ago. Get over it." Get over the Civil War.
Yeah.
Get over your Confederate flag. You frickin' lost. Get over it. You want black people to get over slavery and stop talking about it? Stop flying your Confederate flag. Get over it. Stop saying the South shall rise again. Stop doing all. Stop trying to, defend the fact that here's this statue of some Civil War Southern hero that got put up well after the Civil War was over.
Yeah. Well, what they really mean is slavery shall rise again.
Exactly. It's like, so yeah, you want black people to get over slavery? Well, get over the Civil War.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, people are going, it's a mask. That's what you're hinging your rights on?
Yeah, seriously. That's where I didn't bring it with me. The next time we get together, I have to bring it with me. I've got a book. I know I've talked about this story, but I found the book again because I thought I had it on my bookshelf. I didn't. So this last time when I went home, I had to search through my books down in my sister's basement to find it, but it's a science fiction story that was written in, I think, the early '90s, talking about these kids in this English class that want to do a Shakespeare story, but they have to try and figure out which one can they do, because there's all of these different groups that say, oh, well, we don't like how that's portrayed, so that's got to go. We got to take this out. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but you feel like sometimes that maybe our society is actually going towards that.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Drapery Defense League that doesn't like how, I forget which one it was. Again, I'll have to bring it in so I can read some of these examples. But the Drapery Defense League didn't like how so-and-so was murdered in front of the curtains or something like that. So they don't like how the curtains were portrayed in this. So they've got to mark out that scene. And I know it sounds just completely asinine and ridiculous.
But that's what this mask thing sounds like.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, whenever somebody says something like, well, here's communism, wear your mask. I'm like, oh, my God.
I know. They don't even know what communism is. Most people who bring up Marxism and communism, they have no clue what it is.
Well, didn't even Karl Marx, the one who wrote the Communist Manifest, basically say that he doesn't like what the Soviets turned it into?
Yeah.
So here you go. There's the man who wrote the book is even going, man, no.
Man, they don't messed it up.
Yeah. Well, that's what most people do.
Yeah.
And honestly, too, just real quick before we keep going to some of these memes and how dangerous they are. And this kind of goes even with, some of that story. Maybe I ought to save that for next time. Well, here briefly. For people who want to say, oh, we need to take that away because of this history with it, or take that away because of this, and, delete this, and, take that name off of there. If you really dove into just about everything, you could probably go, okay, take that name off, take that name down, take that down, take that down, take that down, take that down. Somebody could probably even figure out, hey, there's been too many crimes committed on something called Main Street. We need to stop calling streets Main Street. Heck, well, we could take down just about anything Christian, because how many Christians, from way back, I mean, if we're going to dig into history, Christianity's got a bad history as well.
I know.
The Crusades, the Inquisition. I mean, obviously,
the Popes having little boys as their little play toys.
Obviously, what they did when they came to this country and told the Native Americans, either you're going to be Christian or I'll kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to go down that road, But anyway, that can be a whole nother conversation for another day.
I don't know.
Stay tuned, folks. Rude Boys Rant.
This pandemic thing has got everybody off their rockers, man. And you can't say, like we said before, you can't say anything on there without somebody coming. Well, the Democrats, and I see that more than I see, the conservatives. I see more, the Democrats than I see, the conservatives.
Yeah.
I see that a lot more. You know what I mean? It's kind of like...
Well, I mean, clearly, obviously, this post that you read earlier, even though it doesn't say the liberals or the Democrats, that's where it's directed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because we obviously know through this, the Republicans, I shouldn't say the as in all of them, because there were probably some of them going, yes, this is serious. But obviously, starting with the one up there at the top saying, this is nothing, this is a hoax, this is going to disappear, all of his little hand gestures that he likes to do showing this bell curve that's going to disappear. Yeah. So obviously, Republican told you not to wear it.
Yeah.
And Democrats are telling us to wear it.
Yeah.
That's where this is directed.
I'm sorry. I didn't pay attention to anybody here. Mm-hmm. The only reason why I started to take the mask thing seriously is because I went to read other countries and how they dealt with it and what they did.
You ridiculous immigrant. Look at what the rest of the world is doing. This is America. We do things our way.
I start going, you know what? I don't like wearing this mask, but, they say that it leveled off the situation in Taiwan and Japan and all those.
Korea?
Japan never really closed down. They never really closed down. They closed on some things, but they never really closed down.
Yeah,
it's because everybody's wearing their masks and trying to, and they totally ignore the fact that places like, yes, look at around the world how bad things are. New Zealand is opening up slowly. Grenada is opening up slowly. St. Lucia have no cases and haven't had a case in months. You know what I mean? And I could just go on and on and on. These countries, the minute this stuff went on, whammo, they shut down.
We've just from a sports angle, we've had 2 Major League Baseball teams get hit pretty hard that they've had to suspend games, postpone games. Korea Baseball League, I think their season's almost over.
Yeah.
Because they were able to get back and they played.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
As far as I know, they didn't have any problems. There was never an early morning on ESPN where it's like, well, we had a game scheduled, but this happened, so now there's no game being played. I mean, they kept going.
And it's kind of like people are following the rules. That's why they're able to stay. The ones that didn't follow the rules are the ones that go, yeah, let me get this, ooh, and was partying and stuff like that from what I read and what I saw. They went out and congregated with the other fools who think that they're Krypton, they're Teflon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they brought it back. And you see so many stories now where people was like, oh, no, hell no, I'm not wearing no mask. I'm not doing this. It's a hoax. The family members end up dying of it.
Or even some of them did. Wasn't there a guy in Ohio that was real? I mean, like putting out a whole lot of, basically vile posts about this stuff, and he caught it and died from it.
Yep, and he was only in his 30s. He wasn't some old elderly person with a pre-existing condition. This was a young person. I was trying to explain this to a Trump supporter the other day. They said this in the beginning, and now they're saying this. And I was like, because they didn't know. This is a new virus.
Exactly.
That's why we don't have a cure for it, because it's new. So as they're going along, they're figuring out what works and what doesn't. Which part of that don't you understand? They know how to fix up with the flu.
Yeah.
You know, and even then, sometimes the flu mutate and they don't know what they're doing. So they have to figure it out. This stuff is brand new.
I have heard in the past, where they have, like if suddenly a whole lot of flu cases come out and they go, well, we had the vaccine for what we thought was this one,
strain.
And unfortunately, everybody's catching this strain instead.
Yeah.
So,
here's another thing they're starting to figure out. People who even had a mild case of it, it attacks the whole immune system, which means the whole body. Okay, the young lady at work that got it, they're testing her for Parkinson's disease. She's 42. Because that thing busted her nervous system up. There was a baseball player, healthy as could be. He got a mild case of it. Guess what? They found problem with his heart after he got it. He never had heart trouble before. Nothing pre-existed.
You sure it's baseball? Because I know there's an NFL player with the Vikings that had that.
A baseball player too.
Okay.
His season is over.
Yeah, they said that the player for the Vikings. They said that his season's over. They ended up finding a heart defect because of him having to get further testing because of catching COVID.
Yeah,
and basically they found out if he kept trying to play, I think he had an enlarged heart. So if he kept trying to play, obviously it could have affected him and he could have potentially died on the field.
Yeah.
So now that they have found this, hopefully he'll be able to have a normal life. Don't know about playing again, but obviously hope that he can have a normal life again. Yeah, and he was a young kid. I want to say he was going into either his second or his third year.
Yeah, and the baseball player is going to come back. It's just they said that a lot of healthy young people, when they test them, it looks like they had a heart attack. And they just had, moderate to mild cases of it. They test them and it looks like they had a heart attack. They don't know what's going on with this stuff.
Exactly.
That's why everything keeps changing every day. This works, this doesn't work. There's confusion because nobody knows.
Viruses are also living things.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this for even animals that we have known that have existed for years and have been able to study for years. We still keep learning new things about them all the time. Heck, we keep learning new things about humans all the time.
You know what I mean? We evolving. Back in the day, because we didn't have houses and air conditioning and fancy stuff, we were hairy beasts because we were out in the cold, and that's how the body tried to keep itself warm.
Well, and even a book that I read called Born to Run, talking about the way that our feet used to be.
Yeah.
Because we weren't used to fancy, comfortable shoes and all that sort of stuff. I mean, people used to be able to go run forever barefoot and all that sort of stuff, or with just something real slim covering the bottom of their feet. And now that we've gotten so used to all, comfy boots, comfy shoes, all these sorts of things.
Air Jordans.
I mean, heck, we go walk outside, we touch one tiny little piece of gravel under our foot.
It's, damn. Yeah, you know what I mean? In essence, we've become weaklings. That's why I never laugh at African tribes that's still running around barefoot because
in this book too, Born to Run, it talks about their. I really wish I could remember their name. There's a tribe in Mexico, a native tribe to Mexico, that they stay way off in the distance by themselves. They barely speak when they get around, outsiders basically. But they go to a lot of these like ultra marathons, 100-mile, 50-mile, 100-mile things.
Yeah.
And they're winning a lot of these things. And a lot of times what they'll do is right before the race, they'll go to some like used tire thing, and they'll basically just cut off a strip of rubber, get some string, and they'll tie a beat up part of an old tire to the bottom of their foot, and they'll go run 50 miles, 100 miles.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And
I'm not telling everybody you need to go out and try and run barefoot now or anything like that.
No, no, don't try to sue us. But and that's what I try to. And then she's sitting there, and the thing about it is, you tell them this, and they go, "Oh, wow, yeah." Nobody knows what this is, including the scientists. Yes. They're learning as they go.
And look,
why would you listen to a politician?
Oh gosh, yeah. Why'd you listen to politicians about just about anything? But and obviously, just like everything else too, people in the medical community will disagree on things.
Yeah.
And okay, like I read, I get Smithsonian Magazine, and I read an article in there where they were talking about how there was this organization that their whole purpose was to basically try and study viruses like this.
Yeah.
You try and find them early, basically go try and study bats, go study rats, because obviously rats are famous for the bubonic plague and that sort of thing. So they're trying to study animals in all these different places to see if they can find these viruses, to see if maybe they can figure it out a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah.
And there are other people in the medical community who think that's a waste of money. You don't know which ones are going to affect people unless you're testing people.
Yeah.
So again, you obviously have people who think, no, this is extremely important because we don't know where the next plague is going to come from.
Exactly.
And then you have others going, that is a waste of money, that we could be using it on other medical needs, you know.
And check this out. The same woman that I talked to a lot, what was it she said? She said, China had the patent for it. And I thought, you think that there's not labs in America that's got that too? Because they're trying to study it to prevent it from wiping out the population. Yeah. It's everywhere. And we don't know about it because it's not our government doing it. Mm-hmm. It's private companies that are doing it.
Well, even if our government was doing it, you think they're really going to tell us?
And
there's a whole lot of things that they keep secret from us. So,
and that's strangers you're depending on.
Yeah, exactly.
These memes, man. These memes.
They are dangerous, and people.
That's news for some people.
It is. It is, exactly. And some of these, even if they're, obviously I've seen people post them not with thinking any malice. I just agree with it. It's a nice thought. But it's like, but if you dive into it, like, this can be dangerous too. Yeah. Like I saw one that showed, it said, which America are you going to vote for? And I'm surprised they did it this way. On the left side of the meme was this little kid, and he's saluting the American flag. The photo's done so that it's looking up. You see this kid looking up at the American flag.
Idolatry. Go ahead.
Exactly, and it says Trump. Trump is above the flag. And then on the other side, it shows clearly something from a riot. You've got one guy who's wearing a mask standing on top of a damaged car. There's smoke all around and whatever, and then it says Biden. What's funny, though, is that stuff that's going on the right side of this meme is happening under Trump. So what are you talking about?
I know.
But again, even though that could be something that's like, I want people to believe in Trump and what he's trying to do. So you might not be posting that with any malice in your heart, but that's still dangerous because that's like you're trying to show, hey, the liberals are going to destroy the world.
Yeah.
And then you can have a flip side one of that where you can have Joe Biden probably standing there next to Kamala Harris, the one that he's now picked for his vice president, standing there smiling and waving and saying, hey, which America are you going to vote for? You've got these two looking friendly and all that and smiling, looking great. It says,
multicultural.
Yeah, it says Biden and Harris. And then on the other side, you can have Trump doing one of his nasty faces with
the Ku Klux Klan there.
Yeah, with Pence standing behind him looking like a damn robot.
Yeah.
And say Trump and Pence. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
And when you
people
see
don't
these
see
memes,
this.
when you see these memes, you got to figure out where these memes come from. These memes is not just people like me and you sitting at home going, "Oh, I'll make this up." Some of it is, but usually they hire people, these political parties, to make memes that suit them.
I will say that there's probably some people sitting at home with nothing to do, saying, "You know what? I feel like starting some crap."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
But they also have their own political perspective.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I actually tried to start one time, and I did a photo of all of Congress. Not just, here are the liberals or here are the conservatives. It was all of Congress gathered together, and I took the line from Pink Floyd of saying, "Hello, is there anybody in there?"
Yeah.
That one didn't go anywhere. But that one,
because you didn't pick a side.
Exactly. But even too, looking back at it, that can even be kind of dangerous because if I hit I'd hate to say the right people, if you hit obviously the wrong people temperamentally, they might go, "Oh man, our politicians are stupid. We need to kill them. We need to get them out of there."
Yeah,
it's like no, that's not what I'm trying to do.
I know.
I
know, dude. And I'm telling you, man.
But too, is that people? Okay, depending on which side they're on. If somebody's a conservative and they're seeing memes that are showing the conservatives looking bad, that's the only thing they notice. And they think that it's only the liberals do this to us.
Yeah.
Like, you all do it to them too, but they don't see it. And the same thing, liberals will see all the memes that make liberals look bad and think that's all that happens. Like, no, you're doing it to the conservatives too.
And I'm telling you, these liberals are starting to get my bloody nose because all I've seen is a bunch of white liberals talking about, black people this and how like they understand and they know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That gets on my nerves. Because then they start putting up these awful rap songs and try to make it... Okay. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B.
You know what? You unfortunately piqued my curiosity of how bad it was. I did go look at the video. I made it about 30 seconds, and I shut it off. I was like, this... Well, okay, I let some of the lyrics start, and then I was like... Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, dude.
This is what we're doing
That's
now.
what we do now, dude.
My God.
You know what I mean? And there's a conservative commentator named Ben Shapiro that did a whole spiel on it. Now, he's doing it from a political perspective. I know for me and you, we're doing it from a human perspective.
I think the song is disgusting.
The song is disgusting. What is it? Okay, and here's the liberals now. Yes, that's showing women can be sexually free and all that. And I was like, what are you talking about? They're already sexually free. I lived on a beach. I see women wearing that stuff, but I think it's appropriate for the beach because they're out there trying to get a tan and they're on the beach.
Yeah. These
people, and the lions and the tigers or whatever they have, they're licking its lips. There's a bestiality type vibe going on there.
I just, man.
I check this out. Kylie Jenner was in there. Yeah. And black people start a petition to get off the video.
That was actually when I shut it off. When she showed up, I shut it off. And it really didn't have anything to do with her. It basically was like, okay, I think I've already heard enough god-awful lyrics, and there's a break in the song. I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. I'm finished.
And they out there acting like if, this is something that...
there's some horrible crime that she's in it, right?
Yeah, but... Not even that, though. I mean, they're acting like if there's something uplifting for all women everywhere. You know what I mean? I saw the dumbest meme.
Yeah, it's uplifting, talking about how a guy's just going to...
Yeah.
Basically...
Mack truck pound them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's uplifting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why? If it was... Okay,
hey,
I would have understood it.
Whatever scrolls your snurd, but I mean...
Yeah, I would understand it if they were talking about pounding him. But he's still in control if he's taking and pounding you. But the thing about it is, what was I about to say?
Well, Kylie Jenner and people getting upset about that.
Nah, I was moving on from that because Kylie Jenner is just a footnote in the whole thing. But, they're acting like if... I know everybody's
sexually free. Women are sexually free.
Yeah, yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like they obviously aren't, and the same women that are saying acting like they're not sexually free. You should see the stuff they put up there. You know, oh yeah, I'm waiting for this dude. You know, we going to this hotel and blah blah blah. Isn't that not freedom?
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? And furthermore, you know, Cardi B is always running her mouth about black people. How is that uplifting black people? When you're running around like a constipated duck, talking about you want. That's what they look like.
Oh, you got me on that one.
I mean, really, look how they run when their butts all sticking. Well, somebody else's butt sticking out. You know what I mean? Because all that stuff ain't real. Now, Megan Thee Stallion, I think her stuff is real, but Cardi B stuff, she's a little skinny Hispanic chick.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
And I'm sorry, I'm not really coming down on, but the whole idea, and I'm sounding really conservative now, but listen.
That's why you have conservative friends, because you have just enough conservatism in you. But what's funny is when you, like how you said, I don't know how many times, if you're human, you have ideals from both sides.
Oh, yeah. But you see, I don't look at it as a conservative view.
No, I know.
I look at it as this, okay? Okay, yeah. The meme was saying, men, they don't want women to act like this, but they want women to dress like that for them. Or men don't want women to do this, but they go to the clubs to pick women up and all that. And I'm sitting there, I'm reading the list and stuff, and I'm thinking, there's guys who don't do that. I don't go to clubs. I don't drink. I definitely don't try to go pick women up in clubs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that are like us more than the others.
I've had people tell me that, and when I say people, I'm talking about people who constantly go get hammered and go out all the time, that when they say, well, I know why you're alone is because you don't go out. I'm like, man, I don't drink. Why am I going to go to a bar or a club where everybody's getting hammered to try and find somebody?
Yeah.
Plus, that's not me. I'm not looking for one-night stands, okay? I'm looking to try and find somebody that, you know what? I'll admit, I get a little jealous when I see two people that are happy together. I get a little jealous because I don't have that in my life. And so, am I really going to go find that at a bar or a club when everybody's getting just absolutely smashed?
I know.
And what are also the odds that the one night I go there, I'm going to find a girl in the place who's not drunk, and not because she drew the short straw to be the DD, but because she doesn't drink and she's there to hang out with her friends? Now, I'm not saying I've got to find somebody who's a complete teetotaler and won't touch the stuff, but I don't want somebody who's going out and getting just sloshed all the damn time.
You know what I'm saying? And
hey, you gonna buy me? You gonna buy me a drink? No.
And we saying that when you're trying to oppress women, you're trying to not let them be themselves. No, go be yourself.
Yeah.
You do you.
I'm going to be me over here.
You know what I mean? You got all the freedom you want.
Yes.
I ain't got to put up with you.
I will say this, don't come cry on my shoulders when all those thirsty guys keep treating you like garbage.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, If you say that, they go, you just want to control women. No. I don't want to control you. You go do you. You just ain't going to get guys like me. And that's okay, because everybody have people that they're attracted to. That's different. Don't try to guilt me into going to date some girl that's going to be drunk and throwing up and wearing,
The only time I want to be dealing with a girl who's throwing up is because she's sick.
Yeah.
Not because she did that to herself by getting completely hammered beyond belief. It's because she's sick. And I'll take care of you when you're sick.
I'm not saying they can't wear the skimpy stuff and go twerk and stuff. I'm not saying that. You do you. Just because I don't like that doesn't mean I want you to stop doing it.
You won't get your song played on our show when we finally get to do that again.
That and I'm not stopping you from doing it. It's my choice not to deal with people who doing that. I ain't even looking down on them. If you having fun, if that's the way you have fun, go have fun. That's not how I have fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I'm not going to tell you not to wear skimpy stuff in the concrete jungle with your butt hanging out and stuff like that. You want to do that? You do that. I'm not going to date somebody who's actually doing that. But that's my choice. You know what I mean? I don't get upset anymore. I used to. When somebody say they're not going to date a black man, that's their choice. You're missing out. And vice versa.
Yeah.
You're missing out probably on a good human being.
Yeah.
But that is your choice. You go do you. You know what I mean? Even if you're a racist and you don't want to date black people, hey, go ahead and do you, as long as you keep that over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what freedom is. You let people be them, as long as they don't advertently affect your life. If you're a racist, stay over there and be racist with your own kind. But don't come to me and want to kill me because I'm different from you.
Yeah. But that's
Hold me back.
That's kind of been our problem, though, is that, yes, I'm free to do whatever the heck I want, but if I don't like what you're doing, I've got to tell you I don't like what you're doing. You have to sit there and listen to it.
Yeah.
And I don't give a damn what you think.
Yeah. It's like at work, the older guy was dating a younger girl, and all these people are judging, and I keep saying, if they're happy,
yeah,
what is the problem? She's of age. She's not 14. She's not 16. She's 20, 21.
Yeah.
If they're happy, what is your problem? And if you think that's a problem, then how come your ass is single and drying up in here? You know what I mean? You out here judging people and you can't even keep a bloody relationship. You know, just let people be happy. You know, they said gay people, if they're happy doing what they're doing, that's the point. You live life and be happy. You know, if you believe your God's going to judge them, let him do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go telling them, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Because I have gay friends. I ain't once ever thought, no, I'm going to date a man. Not once have I ever thought that. You know, nobody's making you do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You do what your heart tells you. You do what what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And everybody think there's a formula to be happy. There's no formula to be happy. Just be happy, and you'll be happier if you let other people live their life. If it's not affecting you, what is the big deal? You know what I mean? No. If a gay woman is trying to turn a straight woman gay, knowing she's straight, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If a gay man is trying to turn and just as the same, if a straight man is trying to turn a gay man straight to marry a woman, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. I asked a guy that I used to work with about that one time, because he would always tell me about, going out to these places and, hooked up with this straight guy, hooked up with this straight guy. And I said, I got a real problem with this. Look, you got mad. I forget the other guy's name. I said, but when I first worked here, there was the one guy working here who was real religious, and you used to get so sick and tired of him looking at you and saying, you are just one good woman away from coming back to Jesus.
Yeah.
I said, it drove you insane. You would even go to the boss and say, don't you dare put me to work with him, or I swear I'm going to strangle him because he keeps doing this to me. Why then do you go out, find a guy that you know is straight, but you think he's attractive, but then go, I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Yeah.
And then I also told him, I said, I got another point for you. I said, I've got a few friends that went on and played professional ball, okay? Women's professional ball. And they ended up on a team that, there were a lot of gay women on there. But some of them, instead of just letting those other girls be straight, said, we're going to have you switched by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I said, you want people to leave you alone.
Yeah.
Just
to be you.
Exactly. Just the same as those women want people to leave them alone and let them be who they are. But then why are you going to sit there and try and change somebody else? And he went, hadn't thought about that. And I said, well, exactly.
Exactly, man.
Because
live
right now all you're doing is thinking about what you want.
Yeah. Live and let live. I have gay family members. Live and let live, man. I'm not going to go judge them and this, that, the other, just like I don't want them judging me. So, live and let live. If two people love each other, what's the big deal here?
And unfortunately, we have way too much hatred going on.
Yeah.
From all around, all sides. Obviously we've had a lot of, explosion on the internet lately with that, unfortunate innocent child that was killed.
Yeah.
Where was that? North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody wants to raise fire over that and say, well, why aren't you saying his name and justice for this kid? And I was like, man, his murderer was arrested that day, basically. It was within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And
because they know who did it.
Yeah, exactly. And, there's a whole lot of other murder cases that end up happening just like that. Unfortunately, somebody gets killed out of hate, out of spite, whatever it is, and the murderer gets found very quickly. And so the whole justice for him is like, hey, look, I'm sorry. Yes, it was completely unfortunate what happened to him. But as far as justice for him, it's like he's getting justice.
Yeah.
Now, I will agree that if it had been a black 5-year-old, boy or girl, killed by a white man, even if that white man had been arrested immediately, the same like this black man was, even if he had been arrested immediately, I do believe that the liberal media, I'm going to say the liberal media, not the mainstream media, because Fox News is mainstream media too. The liberal media would be talking about it more.
Yeah, because the white man is going to probably get off first.
We haven't made you laugh in a minute, so
what's his name? Zimmerman.
Zimmerman? Oh, George Zimmerman.
I mean, come on, that's why. I mean, but you see, here's the thing. When a poor white person kill a poor white person, there should be the same uproar. Mm-hmm. To get that justice too, and black person kill a black person, there should be that same uproar.
Exactly.
But it doesn't fit the political.
Exactly, and you know what? For people who are thinking that media members are only doing this to try and bait us into race riots, that to me is so negative. You're immediately looking to the bad in everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm on the side of hoping that they report more on those things to kind of show, hey, this does happen.
Yeah.
We need to stop this. And so, like I said, I will agree that if that had been a young black child killed by a white man, white woman, whatever, that they would have talked about it more.
Yeah.
Even again, if the murderer had been arrested immediately, they would have talked about it more.
Yeah.
I will agree to that. Now, I don't think that it's to try and bait everybody into race riots. That might be an unintended consequence.
But I tell you what, they talk about it more until they realize it's not racially motivated, and then it's going to slip away from because it doesn't sell.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once they realize, they killed that person over drugs. Oh, they judge them right away. They deserve that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And apparently there's the drugs and stuff involved in this because the black dude went over to the man's house to do drugs with him.
Oh boy.
And they got into an argument, and he started shooting, and the kid just got shot. You know, the way they portray it in the memes, though, he just walk up to this kid and go, you white piece of little... bam, bam, bam.
That is what I keep seeing. And again, that shows how dangerous memes can be.
Exactly.
Because that's trying to show, well, here's a black guy who just said, oh, hey, white kid, pop.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And shout Black Lives Matter and shoot him. That's pretty much what the memes are doing.
Those things are dangerous, folks. And
just as dangerous as saying the news is... Every news you hear is fake news. Yeah. That is so dangerous. That is so... Okay, somebody had put up there... look... shoot. I just lost my train of thought because I was thinking about the Kamala Harris stuff we were going to talk about, too. Where they're saying she's not black and she's black.
Well, we've got about 12 minutes left on this one. You want to go ahead and jump to that then?
Yeah, let's just jump to that. That's so funny. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I have noticed a trend. If you're black and you're educated... and you have accomplished anything, they don't consider you black.
I heard arguments about that when Obama was running the first time.
Yeah.
Well, he's not black. Listen to him talk.
Yeah.
I heard several people say that, and you just kind of go, wow.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why so many of the older Trumpsters talk to me, because they don't consider me black because I am articulate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
You speak the Queen's English.
You know, so a couple of friends of mine were on Facebook saying something like that, and then this one woman pop up there and says, she is not black. You all keep calling her black. Her father is Jamaican and her mother is Indian. Then she's part of her at least is black. Yeah, you know what I mean. And the woman was just laughing. "How stupid you Democrats!" I said,
apparently this woman thinks of Snow, the rap artist Snow, as what Jamaicans are. So he's white, right? I mean,
So I jump on there and I said, "Well, let me break this down for you, my sister." Okay.
I think I saw something like this.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm from Grenada. My ex-wife's from Eastern Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky, she's white. I'm going to just say it straight out. Mm-hmm. So what the woman is saying that because I'm Grenadian, that means my son isn't black. When Grenada is a 90% black country. Jamaica is a 90% black country.
I think I saw something where somebody was trying to argue that you can't even call her African American because her dad's Jamaican. So that you can just take Africa out of it. I'm like, well, black people who were born in this country, we're still calling them African Americans.
Yeah. And African
and
is there,
obviously a black person from Jamaica didn't just congeal out of the waters of the Caribbean.
No. I have a theory on that.
Okay. This should be good.
Here's what the theory is. They didn't. No. They had the time machine, and the time machine. They went back in time and brought her here to say, well, she's not African American. God, I said it's so more prolific on Facebook, and I lost the train of thought. But
did you post it on here? Do we need to?
Nah, it was on somebody else's thing.
Okay.
It's the QAnon people who believes in time travel. They went back there, did the time travel, and brought the slaves over here just to prove that she's not black. Because I get so damn frustrated with these people. So, but I mean, but you see, here's the thing, and I'm getting so sick and tired of seeing these people put up stuff that Jesus was black. I know Jesus was. I don't care. I don't care if he was black or white. You know what I mean?
Or if he was just brown, he's Arab, or
You know
whatever
what I'm
it is. He
saying?
was born in the Middle East.
Yeah.
What's
the point? Okay? So we find out he was black. What does that prove? Is that going to give you any more power? It's not going to give you any more power. And the fact that he's white and all these poor white people are shouting he's white, you're still poor and have nothing. What power do you have? So why does it matter if he's black or white? I am so sick and tired of seeing this. Every time somebody put up something, well, this is, a black man was the first human beings and the original human beings. So what? We all human, ain't we? We here, ain't we? We got to start getting along. And I'm not saying forget history or nothing, but this is not exactly history. This is conjuncture. The slave trade is history. We have definitive proof that did happen.
Yeah, we have written proof of that. Not just we went and found hieroglyphics and we think we have
decoded it,
that we're able to translate it. Yeah. It's this is written. We have written history of this stuff.
You know what I mean? Well, we just speculating what race Jesus was. I almost say gender. Oh Lord, bring them Christians. What are you trying to say? But that was so long ago, and the language that he spoke, nobody even speaking that language anymore. So we don't know. So why are we fighting over stuff we don't know? You could go into books and say.
You mean Jesus didn't speak English?
No, he didn't speak American neither. So and that book has been translated, and we all know and we all could see that a lot of it is translated for political reasons, because now look how they're using it for politics. Voila! You think you're doing anything different? Why you think we have Roman Catholics? They were pagans back in the day, but they thought, whoa, this Jesus dude, he's got some power. Roman Catholics.
And obviously, how many religions even broke away from Catholicism?
Exactly.
How many?
Talking about did the original.
And then how many even just other sects of Christianity do we have?
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of them.
And same thing with Islam too.
And they all think they're right. They all think, oh, well, we're Baptists, they're right, the others aren't. And then the Methodists are like, oh, well, we're right, the others aren't. The Catholics are, oh, we're right, the others aren't. It's if that one didn't think they were doing it the right way, then obviously all Christians would be going to just one church. You wouldn't have, here's the Catholic Church, here's your Methodist Church, here's your Baptist Church, here's your Church of God, here's your Church of Christ, here's your, now we've got a non-denominational one over here for those of you who are sick and tired of all the others.
And, we have an agnostic one here.
Yeah, Seventh-day Adventist. I mean, there wouldn't be all of these. Now, look, okay, would there be different church buildings? Yeah, because you know what? If you've got 10,000 Christians in one spot, if you're not going to build something that can seat 10,000 people, you might want to have a few more buildings.
Yeah, especially with coronavirus going around.
But there wouldn't be the different ones. You would just have, there's my local church. I'm going to that one.
Yeah.
You know, not that one's Methodist. I can't go to that one. That one's not me. Where's this one? You know, I mean,
I don't know, man.
And exactly, the different branches of Islam.
Yeah,
and they fight each other.
They fight each other all the time.
You know, and you know what? And Christians want to make everybody think that Islam's only hate non-Muslims. Like, man, they fight each other
viciously,
just like you all do. Look at Ireland.
Yeah. Viciously fight each
Protestants
other.
and Catholics still, killing each other all these generations.
There's the Syrians are a different type of Muslims to the Turkish, and the Turkish is a different type of Muslims. All these different things, you know what I mean? Come on, now, people, come on. You're all so splintered, and I like it how like liberals will say you're brainwashed, and then conservatives say you're brainwashed. Well, you picking sides yourself.
Mm-hmm. You've been brainwashed by that side.
Yeah. You're both brainwashed. You know what I mean? So I'm brainwashed as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which would probably be the best way to go, because then I don't look at anybody any.
I kind of like it. I mean, other than the fact that I will say this, it does get frustrating when you see stuff from both sides, the conservatives and the liberals, that tick you off.
Yeah.
That does get annoying.
And you see, the thing about here's something else too. When you're not liberal or conservative, you must be a libertarian. Somebody said that to me, and I was like, "What the hell is a libertarian? I don't even know what that is."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even know what that is.
Well, most of the time, too, it ends up being, well, you must be one of them socialist communists or something like that. I'm like, man, you just put two labels on me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. We got to stop this nonsense. And this is why we have the issues we have right now. You know what I mean?
We are in a bad place. And I know we'll obviously have other shows that we can talk about this, but just as we're about to close out here, because we got roughly about 4 minutes, this next election coming up just has me scared.
I know, man.
It has me scared. Either way it could go, because I could see if Trump wins, the liberals are going to scream fraud. If Biden wins, the conservatives are going to scream fraud. I pray that I'm wrong, and I still think that Trump's going to try and turn himself into a dictator. Some of the little steps that he keeps taking look more and more like it, and it just, our country is not in a good place right now.
Yeah.
We have white nationalists coming out and saying, let's peaceably assemble, but bring all your guns. Let's peaceably assemble, and then counter-protesters come, and violence breaks out.
Yeah.
It's like, people just can't. We just can't seem to get along right now.
And the thing about it is, it's easy to, because you see people for years, and you see they put up stuff, and it's like, wow, I didn't know this person had this kind of racist set of thoughts.
Well, and you know what? For some of them, and some of them, they probably don't even know that it's really racist either. If that was the way that they were raised, they may not even know that what they just said is racist.
And vice versa. You know what I mean? Anyway, bros, we better end this here, because I got to use the bathroom in the worst way. Sorry,
there you go, folks.
People.
A little too much information for you.
Thanks to the Irish people for downloading.
Downloading, and I know I said look at Ireland, but you know what? Hey, unfortunately, the history of the Catholics and Protestants fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, I've got Irish heritage in me. Would love to come and visit one day.
Oh yeah.
I've especially watched.
Me too.
I've especially watched even some of these Expedition Unknown episodes with Josh Gates, and he gets to go to Ireland, and you're just sitting there going, oh my gosh, that looks pretty. I want to go there.
We need to find peace.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find peace. You want to know why we need to find peace? Because I would like to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to go to all kinds of cultures and check it out. You know what I mean?
It would be so much fun to go there and actually be able to really talk to people from there, not just other tourists that you're there with, actually have a chance to sit down and chat. I mean, when I went to St. Croix, I really, they kind of like, oh, we'll just kind of stick with the other, the other tourists. And you think, I want to talk to other people here on the island.
That's
the only person I really got to talk to was the dude who drove the little boat.
Yeah.
And God, he was so tickled to death every time I got on the boat because I could understand him while he was speaking patois.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? Don't worry, you're gonna come to Grenada and everything's gonna be everything.
I still love the look on some of those people's faces too, you know, and not just like my friend Adam and his parents, but the other people that would get on the boat and I really wish I could remember how he said it, you know, when he would be saying things like, "Oh, where are you all going today?"
Yeah.
And then they'd all just kind of look at each other. I said, "He asked you where you're going today." And they look at this little white guy who's like, "You understood that?" I mean, I couldn't speak patois back to him.
Yeah.
He could understand English just fine.
Yeah.
But he obviously then spoke
Yeah.
patois back. And I could catch enough of it from obviously being around you listening to reggae. And then, because you did say there's bits of French in there too.
Oh, yeah.
And I was still fresh in French class at the time, so I
Yeah.
could catch up enough of it.
Yeah.
To where I could understand this guy. I loved it.
You know what I mean?
You know, Adam and I'd get on the boat because we'd tell his parents, like, "Hey, we're going to go do this real quick." And okay, we get on the boat. He's like, there's my boy, you know. And we'd sit there and talk, and Adam would look at me like, we get off the boat and goes, "How the heck do you understand him?" Like, man, I don't have a clue what he's saying. And then, you know, he's speaking that, and then you're speaking English, and then he's speaking that back to you, and you're speaking English. Like, you guys, you're having a conversation, right? I go, yeah, we are.
You know what I mean?
I loved it, man.
Yeah. But we gonna end this one here, you know what I mean? And listen, man, start taking care of each other.
Yes, and thank you all for tuning in. You know, continuing to tune in. We'll obviously be trying to have more episodes coming up because there's obviously plenty of stuff to talk about. So,
yeah, you know what I mean? In the meantime, don't let the system get you down.
It's the Root Boys. We're out.